go. What is going on, Cover One crew? Welcome back. It is Thursday night football, baby. We got a good one between the Lions and the Packers. And I mean, we're going to continue down this trend of boom or bust. Week number 4. Which players are going to boom this week? Who's going to bust? You guys got to get your win tallies up. Hopefully you're doing well. If you're not and struggling and you're 0-3 or 1-2, I can help y'all out. Just drop them in the comments. Definitely put those questions out there. It can help you out. But let's start with Javonte Williams on my board first for running backs. He has not been great. I mean, the Broncos are coming off the 70-point thrashing, allowing 70 points. Now they're going to be playing those Chicago Bears. I mean, the pass offense we got to talk about. Russ Wilson, let's ride. It's been good, okay? He's been able to support a lot of these wide receivers to boom consistency. You do got to love that. Russ has been supporting it. It hasn't been necessarily, Russ being the problem, but maybe where it's lacking overall in this offense is the full-on control with the running aspect, rushing upside. Vontae hasn't had a boom game yet this year, so you gotta feel it is on the horizon and it is coming. Big bounce back for this run game. Maybe they just, want to control the clock a little bit, get a lead, and this could absolutely benefit Vontae Williams. I'm calling a boom for Vontae. First time this season for him. Ramondre Stevenson taking on these Dallas Cowboys. And I mean, the Pats overall, offensively, they're better than I had anticipated. There's no question about that. But the run attack hasn't been necessarily overly productive. Dre has a terrible yards per carry at 2.9 on the average. And I mean, we're seeing right now that his rush attempts are even starting to be curtailed week after week after week. And Zeke Elliott may continue to get a little bit more of the volume share if Dre continues to struggle on that average yards per carry. But with that said, I mean, Dre is still the, lead back in this offense and should still maintain that role barring anything unforeseen. Maybe we see 60-40 splits as the year does go on. However, facing the Cowboys, who just gave up a boatload to a James Conner, a lot of y'all going to be on the bandwagon for Ramondre this week. I have 100% inclination that the Dallas Cowboys are going to tighten up a lot. I'm calling a bust for a Ramondre Stevenson this week, but you're likely still starting him because, I mean, it's Ramondre. Volume is key and upside, so we're starting Ramondre. Just understand it could just be a bust game for him this week. Josh Jacobs taking on those Los Angeles Chargers. What did I tell y'all this offseason? Any running back in recent history outside of Emmitt Smith with the Dallas Cowboys coming off a holdout, they do not do well. They do not perform early and often because, I mean, you got to get your football legs back under you. Jacobs has looked piss poor thus far. And I mean, okay, he's, we're entering week 4. This is kind of what we're saying. Training camp and preseason, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. And then, these running backs start to take off. Right now, what comes to worse for wear is Jimmy G might miss this week due to concussion protocol, which means Brian Hoyer and, preseason star Aiden O'Connell, they could actually get some playing time in this contest, which means for me, a lot more rushing upside coming this week for a Josh Jacobs. Entering week 4, we should see Jacobs have his football legs back underneath him. I'm calling boom for a Josh Jacobs this week. I think he gets back on track in a very big way. Alvin Kamara versus Tampa Bay Buccaneers, coming fresh off the suspension. Alvin Kamara, he gets his first start. And I mean, while, I contradict my statement here just a little bit, saying that backs that haven't played, are going to struggle out the gates, this is kind of different where, Jacobs' mindset was hold out for more money. Alvin Kamara was forced to sit out due to suspension for, off-field conduct. However, I do believe Kamara is a different breed. He's a different animal, and inserted in this offense, he will obtain volume instantly in both the run and the pass attack because he is that PPR upside running back that we have loved and known and loved for so many years. Jameis Winston could be the starter because Derek Carr does have that AC joint strain, and like I told you, anybody that knows the AC joint strain, it's very difficult to lift your arms above your head, and this on Derek Carr's throwing shoulder. I fully expect Jameis Winston to play, and Jameis does go back to the well a lot, like we saw with Michael Thomas the minute he got on the field. He was peppering Michael Thomas with targets. Likewise should be the case for an Alvin Kamara. I'm calling a boom game for Alvin Kamara. So if you guys drafted him, he was on your bench. Get ready for Kamara to have a decent show this week out the gates. Tyler Lockett, let's talk wide receivers versus these New York Football Giants on Monday Night Football. And I mean, the Hawks have looked good overall. Geno slinging the ball. I mean, supporting Lockett and DK so far. Not much for JSN. Lockett is truly the staple. If you guys follow my consistency numbers, Lockett is the true staple of trendy player. Boom 1 week, bust the next week. Boom 2 weeks, bust 1 week. This is what Lockett does in this offense, and it should continue once again. Lockett, he was locked down last week, no pun intended, by these Panthers, but he's got a great matchup versus struggling Giants team on Monday night, and I do like Lockett to have another big day. Let's call it a boom for Tyler Lockett this week once again. Nico Collins taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. And my guy, C.J. Stroud, is absolutely balling, lifting up all the wide receivers here in the Texans organization. Stroud has lifted up Nico Collins as well. Well, you know, the biggest argument that I have for some of these wide receivers and quarterbacks, who's uplifting whom? That's the biggest issue. Where we see a team like Tampa Bay where Mike Evans, Chris Godwin can uplift a Baker Mayfield, we got C.J. Stroud uplifting this wide receiver core, including and not, limiting to a Nico Collins. I do believe, at this point, we see the Steelers' defense. They are showing out that they can come after the quarterback once again. They will definitely test the presence of a C.J. Stroud and this offensive line for these Texans. I do fully expect to see a lot of pressure coming at Stroud, and it will be a giant test for this rookie to see how he can spread the ball around to his wide receivers. This could absolutely mean quicker, shorter passes to guys like Tank Dell, Robert Woods, Bobby Trees, and maybe even a Dalton Schultz this week. I'm calling a bust for a Nico Collins this week, only because of who they're playing and how they plan to attack this rookie quarterback. Gabe Davis versus these Miami Dolphins. Squish the fish week is upon us, and I'm ready, man. These Miami Dolphins do look good coming off that 70-point blowout versus Denver, and the Bills will definitely be tested this week, and they will gonna have to put up points in bunches, y'all. I mean, the Bills right now, they're running one of the best teams right now, or the highest efficiency rate teams for 12 personnel. That's double tight end sets. This is big news. I mean, where it aids in the run game for the Bills on double tight end sets, it's been working as well. James Cook has been running the ball extremely well due to this scheme system that the Bills have implemented. They are going to need to move the ball around a lot, especially if the Miami Dolphins are planning to put up a lot of points on this board, which is quite possible once again, even though the Bills' defense is super strong. I mean, they're going to put up a lot of points. There's going to have to be somebody that's going to have to take the pressure off of a Stephon Diggs. Last time Gabe played the Miami Dolphins, he had 9 targets, 6 receptions, 113 yards, and a touchdown. I think this is Gabe Day as well. We got to see it. Josh, you got to spread the ball around. Boom for a Gabe Davis. I'm calling. I think Alpha Gabe is my guy. I think he's going to do very well this week as well. Garrett Wilson versus Kansas City Chiefs on Sunday Night Football. This is going to be gross. The Chiefs should absolutely run away with this one, as the Jets are in ruins right now. Poor Aaron Rodgers goes down, and it just left the team in ruins. Rumor has it right now that Coach Salah is also losing this locker room due to over support for a Zach Wilson, who is just not doing anything on the field. The pass game is nothing to fear, and I mean, the Chiefs defense right now is playing very well. They are such a strong unit, might be one of the better units that they've had in the Mahomes history. They look damn good, and this Chiefs defense, will put a lot of pressure on Zach Wilson, and it's going to make it very difficult for Garrett Wilson to do anything outside of Garrett taking a slant to the house. It's very tough to trust. I'm calling a bust for a Garrett Wilson. Keep this man on your bench until further notice. Tight ends, Darren Waller, you're killing me. On Monday Night Football, taking these on the Seattle Seahawks. Tight end is very tough to trust overall in fantasy football once again. Not many tight ends are booming for us on a weekly basis. I mean, and this team right now with the New York Giants, they look like hot garbage. And I mean, Waller is, I'm not going to give this guy a pass whatsoever. He's dropping balls that he should have in his breadbasket. He looks disinterested overall. I just don't like what I see. Thought, going back to the preseason, Waller was going to continue this PPR upside trend. Has not happened. Potentially, they get Saquon back this week, which would be a big plus for this pass game, and Daniel Pennies. Giants need a big bounce back, including Waller himself. Waller is one of the top targets on this team. Feed the man the ball. Let's call it a boom on Monday Night Football, because it is a good matchup, as the Seattle Seahawks aren't necessarily stout to that top level on the defensive side. Pat Freiermuth, taking on these Houston Texans. Steelers looked very good this past week. Kenny Smallhands Pickett looked a lot better dealing the football, which means the biggest issue right now for the Pittsburgh Steelers, I'm lost for words right there, but I mean, the biggest issue right now is the run game with Najee Harris, and they're trying to install a little bit more Jalen Warren. This means the play action is suffering, which has also precluded to the Muth not getting as many targets as we had expected this year. However, red zone upside still is here, which is a very big positive for this tight end. Playing Houston, who did look good on defense last week, surprised me with all the injuries that they did sustain on the defensive back end. I do believe that this could be a week Kenny Pickett looks back to the Muth to find those touchdowns and, first down, third down conversions to gain those first downs. I'm calling a boom for a Pat Freiermuth, the Muth, baby. Let's go. Luke Musgrave here versus the Detroit Lions on Thursday Night Football. Everybody's getting on board with Musgrave. I understand. I mean, this rookie tight end class is turning out to be something of a generational talent-wise. Musgrave is one of these guys that could turn the corner very quickly. Also, we got Laporta doing the business. We're still waiting on Kincaid to do it, and Musgrave as well. He's been at least, utilized in this offense fairly well, but we'll see what he does playing the Lions. A big division game here on Thursday Night Football. Jordan Love's continuing to move the ball with great efficiency. However, we do got Christian Kirk potentially coming back tonight as well to play in this contest, which will be, with the situation where the Green Bay Packers will likely want to feed this man, Christian Watson, over anybody else to see where his legs are at. We could see Love spread the ball to his wide receivers before we go to the tight end spot, where Musgrave could get anywhere from like 4 to 8 points this week. But a TD would be the thing that would save his day. Does Musgrave get in the end zone? It is very possible. I'm just not betting on it if I am a betting man, which I am. I'm calling a bust for Luke Musgrave. Last one, Logan Thomas, tight end spot going up against the Philadelphia Eagles. And Logan, the poor guy, man, took that dirty shot from Kareem Jackson 2 weeks ago. I mean, Jackson, what are you doing laying people out like that? You could kill the man. It's just terrible shot that he took, but he's looking to be cleared and play this week. Sam Howell clearly missed his safety blanket tight end versus those Buffalo Bills. Got another huge matchup versus another stout defensive front. Sam Howell's going to be running for his life. So I'm saying, the potential is here for Sam Howell to find his tight end on the regular, but I mean, it's going to be very tough. Right now, the projection for Sam Howell is going to be NFL record, taking 107 sacks by the time the season does come down. This offensive line's got to protect their quarterback just a little bit more. PPR upside could be here for Logan Thomas from Sam Howell, especially in garbage time. We could also see this come to pass as well, but I'm going to have to say this defensive front is going to give Sam Howell fits just like the Bills did. I'm calling a bust for a Logan Thomas. We can't trust it this week, even though Logan Thomas is back on my fantasy radar. He's done very well. But there you have it. That is Boomer Bust week number 4. I got starts it for you coming on Saturday, so definitely stay tuned for that. Drop any of your questions in the comments. I got you covered. Even if you want to have a healthy debate, we can definitely do that too as well. But nevertheless, as always, don't forget to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, jump in those comments, give me your thoughts, and we'll see you next time. I am out.